So today one of the biggest things, or one of the craziest things, happened in the war between Iran and the US. Iran actually took down an F-15E fighter jet. And because of that, now Iran and the US are playing one of the craziest games of hide and seek I've seen. For the hide and seek part, let me actually tell you why it's big that Iran took down the F-15 fighter jet, because this is not a normal jet. First of all, it's super expensive because it costs like $100 million per jet. And unlike a lot of jets, this jet actually has two crew members, a pilot who's in the front seat and then a weapons systems officer in the back seat, okay? And that's important information for the story that's coming up. And it carries missiles, has a powerful radar that tracks enemies and scans the ground. And it's supposed to be really hard to shoot down. Like, even though it's not stealthy, like it's not hidden from radars, it's super fast, it's highly maneuverable, uses flares to confuse missiles, and also has electronic warfare systems to jam radars, okay? So it's supposed to be super advanced, one of those jets that's really hard to hit. But Iran did hit it today. And remember, inside the jet there were two crew members. Well, they both ejected from the plane, so they're both alive. And that's actually the picture of the seat of the ejected plane, right? So they're both alive. And that's where the crazy game of hide and seek started, because they're alive now, but they're in Iran. And as you know, in Iran they're surrounded by a lot of enemy soldiers, right? That's not all, because Iran actually said, it told its civilians that if you found the pilots, we will give you around $50,000 to $76,000 to civilians, not military, civilians. And they even told the civilians, if you captured or killed the pilots, you will be rewarded. So it wasn't just the pilots against the military or the soldiers, it's the pilots against everyone in Iran. So yeah, it's a crazy hide and seek game, and technically the pilots have some training regarding that part, and they're supposed to hide, stay quiet, and use radios to send their location, okay? But they're in a huge country, right? And they're basically hiding from every single person in the country. But the US itself didn't stop. They were not going to be like, okay, you know what? Take our pilots. No, the US actually went with helicopters, a C-130 aircraft, and special forces to go and find those pilots. And actually, they found one of them. They found one of the crew members. That crew member is alive. He's taken to custody and they're receiving medical care right now. So that's one. Okay, so it's 1-0 to the US. But now the second crew member is still missing. We don't know if they're injured or if they're hiding or if Iran actually captured them. We don't know yet. But if that crew member is not captured, then imagine the stress that they're in. Like, you're in a country, everyone in the country is looking for you because there's a big reward. And it's basically a game of hide and seek. It's crazy. And what's even crazier is that this attack of the jet, the very expensive jet, happened after Trump said that, oh, we took down their missile system, we decimated the country, and that we're gonna send them to the Middle Age or Stone Ages, right? So Trump talked down on how Iran is not possibly gonna do anything to them. And then that happens. Like, crazy, right? Very crazy. And what's even crazier, guys, because there's another story about the war, is that the US actually asked for ceasefire between Iran and the US, right? The US is the one who asked, and Iran said no. Because on April 1st, the US told Iran, you know what, let's have a ceasefire, but not a long one. Let's only have a 48-hour ceasefire so that we can negotiate, right? 2 days, no fighting, just negotiating. And they sent that on April 1st, right? Iran didn't respond on April 2nd. They didn't say anything, and the US didn't know what to do. Like, are they fighting? Are they not? And then on April 3rd, Iran was like, you know what? No, we do not accept that ceasefire. So there was no pause. I don't know if they're negotiating right now. I don't know how that negotiating is doing. Like, Trump is saying that negotiations are going really well, and we're talking to the new leaders of Iran who are actually reasonable, while we have Iran and Iran's state media saying that no, there aren't any negotiations, nothing is happening, Trump is just saying whatever he wants to say. That's not true. We're not negotiating. And then they come out on April 3rd saying that no, we're not going to have a ceasefire. So maybe the negotiations are not going well. I don't know. I don't know who to believe. Do we believe Trump saying that the negotiations are going really well? Or do we believe Iran, who are saying that no, there aren't any negotiations? And I have mentioned that before. I've mentioned how weird it would be for a country that's trying to end the war and trying to negotiate to say that no, we're not negotiating. Like, seriously, why would Iran be negotiating with the US, but at the same time say that no, we're not negotiating, the US is lying? It doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. Like, usually when a country is negotiating, they're like, yeah, we're trying to reach a middle ground. We're trying to end the war, right? So that their people are calmer, or at least everyone has a sense of calmness in this war, right? But for Iran to say, no, we're not negotiating, it just means that they're not negotiating, right? Like, why would they lie about it? I just don't see a reason as in why they would lie about not negotiating. But at the same time, I see some reasons as in why Trump might kind of manipulate the words and say that they're negotiating. Because for Trump, first of all, Trump started the war. So technically, all the gas prices going really expensive is Trump's fault. Basically, countries' economies getting affected is Trump's fault, and all of that. So maybe Trump doesn't want the blame. Maybe Trump just wants to show that, okay, now that the war is happening, now that I started the war, I'm the one who's negotiating. Maybe, right? Maybe. Or maybe he's saying that we're negotiating so that the stock market goes up, so that maybe people that he know make money. I don't know. I'm just saying maybe. But again, what do you think? Who's the one who's lying here? Is it Trump or is it Iran? But then we actually have Iran being nice to other countries, like, for example, South Africa, because Iran said today that they're letting South African ships pass through the Strait of Hormuz. You know, the Strait of Hormuz that Iran blocked, right? And because Iran blocked the Strait of Hormuz, ships that carry oil cannot go through there. And because of that, oil prices went crazy, right? So Iran was like, you know what? We like South Africa. Let's let South Africa pass through the Strait of Hormuz. And this is big. And apparently, Iran and South Africa have been having a good relationship recently, right? And they've been talking for a while. And also, Iran mentioned that because South Africa took Israel to the International Court of Justice, accusing Israel of genocide in Gaza, Iran strongly supports what South Africa did. And because of that, they find South Africa as a friendly country. And because they're a friendly country, they can safely pass through the Strait of Hormuz. So for South Africa, that's a win. They're passing through the Strait of Hormuz. Perfect. But for the US, not really, right? Because first of all, is South Africa choosing Iran over them? No, they're just passing through the Strait of Hormuz. But also, we've seen Trump. We know how he reacts when other countries pick the other side. So we don't know if Trump is going to be targeting South Africa in the future, maybe put economic pressure on them. We don't know. We don't know if Trump is going to be really upset at South Africa, and we don't know yet. But we know that Trump's and South Africa's relationships haven't been the best recently, right? So it's big. It's a big change that South Africa is going to be using the Strait of Hormuz while the US is fighting to open it. It's a big change. But talking about the US fighting, there's also some fighting that's happening inside of the Trump administration. Because remember in the last video I told you that Pam Bondi is getting fired or might get fired? Well, she did. She did get fired. It's official. And she actually got replaced by one of Trump's old attorneys. And his name is Todd Blanche. And he's the acting attorney general, which means that he's only there temporarily. But for now, Pam Bondi is out. And the reason she's out, well, there's a lot of reasons. One of them is how she handled the Epstein files, because there was some drama last year when she said that she has the client list in front of her, right? And then the DOJ later was like, no, there is no client list. So people were like, okay, is there a client list or is she lying? What's happening? So that's some drama. And also Trump was upset at Pam Bondi because he wanted Pam Bondi to have some legal action against James Comey, the former FBI director, but she wasn't able to, and the court cases were thrown out. Nothing happened to James Comey. So Trump got upset. And apparently Trump and Pam Bondi had a heated argument at the White House. So yeah, there is a lot of drama going at the White House. It's not just drama between Trump or the US and other countries. It's drama inside of Trump's government. So it's weird. Like, inside of the White House, inside of his own administration, there is drama. Inside of the US itself, there is drama between everything that's happening, right? And there were the protests that happened last week. And outside of the US, there is drama. Wow. Wow. Like I'm not surprised that Trump used to be in a reality TV show. Like, wow, he knows how to how to make drama. But to be honest with you guys, I don't know what's gonna happen in the next few weeks. It's weird. Like in the past we could expect some stuff, but now we don't know what to expect. We don't know what's gonna happen in this war. We don't know who to believe. It's just everything is out there with two opinions, right? We have the US saying some stuff, Iran saying some stuff. They're not the same at all, right? So no idea what's gonna happen. No idea how this war will end. I hope it doesn't get worse, but who knows? Because Trump did say that it might get worse. He might bomb it really, really badly. Iran said that they will bomb the Middle East. There is a lot that's going on. So yeah, we will see what's going to happen. And I'll keep you updated. I'll try to keep you as updated as possible because there's a lot that's happening. So yeah, I'll try to make it simple, right? But anyway, that's all for today. I love you all. And I will see you guys tomorrow.